From the class of 2000, another inductee into this year's Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame. Joining me now, Carly Graytock Shea. Congratulations, Carly.
Thank you.
You know, when you first started thinking about running, how old were you and why did you decide to go into running, you think?
I think I was about 13, and I pretty much went into it because I wasn't very good at most other sports. I was a dancer actually for many years growing up, and I think I liked that, but I wanted to do something where I could be part of a team. And I think I sort of knew from a few, forays into Little League and basketball that I was not very good at those sports. But I was like, well, running can't be too difficult. And I think it was also social. I think some of my friends were doing it. So, yeah, I started running in 8th grade and kind of went from there. I think I learned the importance of training because the first year I didn't, and I got very sick after my first race. But, yeah, I think, once I learned how to properly prepare, I really did enjoy it, and took off from there. So
you thrived in it. I mean, did you gain a lot of confidence after that first year once you did learn how to train?
Yeah, I think especially when I moved up to the varsity level, because the race distance became longer, and I think that was the inkling of oh, maybe I'm better as an endurance runner. Yeah, once I learned the valuable lesson of actually training every day in the summer to be ready for fall cross country, yeah, I think I sort of figured out how to best prepare myself. And each year it was all right, I'll put in a little more work and maybe see some more results. And that's pretty much how it went, all the way up until I went to college. So.
You were recruited, and all of your years you were coached by another Hall of Famer, Art Goulden. What did Coach Goulden mean to you, and what did he bring out in you as a person?
Oh, Coach Goulden, he's still to this day probably one of the most influential people in my life. He was very good at just finding, I think, in athletes the work ethic and drive to put in the hard work and, believe in yourself, set big goals and believe in yourself. And we had a team of people, that he sort of fostered that sort of mindset with. And so I think having a coach that believed in us and then teammates that believed in you, it really just, it sort of built off, one thing after another, and we could go for big goals and just keep continually improving throughout the time here. So yeah, I feel so fortunate that I was able to run for Coach Goulden while I was here, and I'm friends with his daughter now, and I see his wife, occasionally. So yeah, the Goulden family has been very instrumental in my life for many years.
When you came to Bucknell, you ran cross country, but you also were on the track and field team, obviously. That's how it usually goes. But did you have a preference? Did you like cross country better than running distance in track and field?
So I think it probably depended on what season was happening at the moment. What I loved about cross country was it's every course is different, so you couldn't really measure from one race to another by time. It really was by how you were competing against your competitors. And the awesome thing about cross country was just it's a team sport. I mean, yes, you're running as an individual, but in the end, it's everybody coming together and doing their best to perform well as a team. So I really liked cross country, but I did like track, and I will say high school I never got to run indoor. So freshman year, that was the novelty of an indoor track meet was pretty awesome to me. And outdoor, I really liked the 10K, which I mean, if you were aware, after college, I went into marathoning. So looking back, it made sense that I liked doing the 10K in track because the longest thing available, that was my specialty. So yeah, it was. I think it really did depend on whatever the current season was. That was my favorite. So
that's great though, because cross country going into track and field, indoor then outdoor, that's a long year, isn't it?
It is, and I think Coach Goulden was really good at segmenting it for us so that we were getting the rest we needed in between seasons, but then also peaked at the right moment for each season, when the championship season rolled around. So yeah, it was a long year, but I think we had it broken up in a way that, to me, I never felt burnt out by the end of the year. I actually really liked outdoor. I was just as excited to be racing in May as I was in September. So
That's awesome. That says a lot about you and about Coach Golden for sure. Now, 99, the team made the NCAA tournament as a team. That doesn't happen at our level too often. How neat was that for you and for your teammates?
It was so awesome, and I think it's something that, you know, when I came in my freshman year, I don't think any one of us would have thought that we would get to that point. But, you know, over the next several years, we just had a really good group of women that meshed well. And again, like Coach Golden was able to foster all of that and get us to, like, as a team, improve and continually set big goals and go after them and accomplish them. And so my best friend on the team was a co-captain with me. And so, like, I think going into our senior year, we're like, why not, like, have these big goals to beat these big Division I teams that normally, you know, school us. And we weren't afraid, I think. We wanted to go head to head with them as much as we could. And we really had a strong belief in what we could do. And so, yeah, to, like, actually make it there, it was surreal and also awesome. And, like, what a great way to end your senior year of cross country, like, to go to the NCAA meet. Yeah, it was really special.
And your senior year, not only did you get it done on the track or in the cross country, you know, courses that you ran, you also were named the Patriot League Scholar Athlete of the Year. To do both of those, it's an incredible achievement. But did you feel like that was in some ways bigger than what you did, you know, in your athletic side?
To some extent, yes. And I will say Coach Golden was really good about emphasizing to us that when we came here, we were here for two things. And the first thing was our academics and grades. And second was running. And then everything else was just, you know, that was on the side. So he really impressed upon us that, like, yes, you're runners, but most importantly, you're athletes or you're students, and, you know, you're here for a quality education, you know, do well in the classroom. And so I think the athletics and the academics complemented each other well. I think it actually made me better with time management. And so it was a lot on my plate, but I felt like, okay, if I could plan out my day or my week and be organized about it, I can get these things done. So I think it takes some, like, self-discipline, but again, like, that was something Coach Golden just really was, like, impressed upon all of us that would be a good quality to have, you know? So yeah, it's a lot of balancing and time management, but.
Well, it worked. It worked to a great degree, all the way to the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame. What a great honor. Congratulations, Carly.
Thank you very much.
Carly Graytock Shea, another one of our inductees this year to the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame.